I am meteorologist Steve Krasnowski here with your weather briefing storm scoop update for Monday, November 9th, 2020. I think we have a president now, I think. And we'll call this one, it is November, so let it be mostly November weather. It's kind of a tongue twister. Anyway, story of the day are the highs in the Northeast. Yesterday we had a pretty warm day as well. Touched a few high records. I don't think we made any. We might be approaching some in this area today, in Connecticut and southern Massachusetts. Just keep an eye on that. And then we'll peter out a little bit as the week goes on. We have our tropical storm that we'll talk about hurricane that we'll talk about a little bit later. And this is the European output for rainfall for this week. A lot of the remnants of that storm will be affecting the Mid-Atlantic and the Tri-State, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. There is a sharp cutoff along the lines, pretty sharp, not extensively sharp, but pretty sharp. The models disagree. That was the European. You see the GFS is a lot less bullish. Just the precip shield is just not, it's all focused down south. So pick your poison, see what goes on. Here we are with now Tropical Storm Eta, and continues to bring a forecasting challenge to the eastern Gulf and parts of Florida. The worst weather is actually about 165 miles from the center. This is a screenshot this morning of my radar. You can see that the furthest, toughest weather is definitely offshore, but still definitely torrential downpours, winds. You may have even seen it in that Tampa Bay game yesterday as some of those bands got up there. Dry air, and is the name of the game. The future of it looks interesting as it fighting forces in the atmosphere that want to tug at it. Guidance suggests it holds tough with rain at times for Florida for a good part of the week. It seems to lose the fight and dry up ahead into the weekend. So as it gets absorbed into this cold front and heads on northeast, it actually will dry up significantly, and that's why you're seeing those disparities between the two models. One of them thinks the dry air will be further subdued than the other, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it and keep looking at the upper atmosphere. The relentless hurricane season continues. The system we've been watching over the Atlantic, the open Atlantic, is now dubbed 97L. It has a high probability, 70% chance of developing within the next 5 days. So this window has to be followed. When we get up here, we're expecting this one to go this way. So right now, it's not a threat to the United States, but who knows? I mean, at this point, I'm willing to see things go like this and zoom right up the coast. Why not, right? The Caribbean system down here now has a medium or 50% chance of developing within 5 days. So another one to keep in the line of view. And then let's come back to that one. This is, I gotta tell you, this storm is on track to be our longest lived tropical cyclone of the year, potentially lasting for a half a month. And a half a month is basically a year in 2020 time. But this is where the storm started. And you can see that razzle dazzle last week we were talking about it, making landfall into Nicaragua and then coming back out and curving. And now it wants to continue that curve and eventually move on up. So I definitely feel like we've been talking about this storm forever. So now let's get into some outlook stuff. This is the 2-week temperature anomalies from the 16th to the 22nd of this month. It's the CFS version 2. And it's predicting that extreme warmth could linger across the eastern 2/3 of the nation through the end of November, which is good news if you aren't a fan of cold weather, bad news if you are, if you're a snowbird. Let's go one more here. Lots of systems cutting through. Actually, so this is the outlook for December and February. Precipitation patterns differ from last year. Well, we have a La Nina system. Here will be a big battleground here. Lots of systems cutting through the Midwest and Great Lakes, likely leaving northeast on the rainy or icy side. and a dry signal across Europe, and a big wet signal for Australia and northern New Zealand. And that'll do it for today. I'm meteorologist Steve Krasnowski. See you tomorrow.